I'd have this overwhelming feeling of just being lost or being helpless. And I think that's quite a confronting and suffocating experience. There was a moment when I realised I wasn't playing good footy, and all these things were sort of snowballing outside of footy life and then on the field. And there was actually a moment when my wife asked me, it was Friday night and we'd always watch the footy, and she goes, "Do you want, I'll put the footy on." And I said no. And I hated footy. I did not want to watch the footy. I didn't want to be around footy. I was just trying to control everything, and I'd be playing, I'd do something poor in a game or at training, I'd just ignore it. Nah, it's all right, don't worry about that. I'll just deal with it later, or nah, it's all right, that's not how I normally play. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's actually becomes how you play and how you see yourself, and you can't hide from it. I was actually starting to question what I'd done with my family and my footy, and I really felt the responsibility as a father and a soon-to-be husband at that stage, that I was probably not providing for my family like I should. And the hardest thing when you're feeling like that, you don't want to talk to people. I only just got to the club, and I didn't want to come in with issues. I'm a new bloke here. I want to be seen, put my best foot forward. It took probably 8 weeks for me to start feeling good about footy again, but it was the first step that helped on the way. I suppose start heading in the right direction. I'd been speaking to Myrtleford for a couple of years because I wasn't sure when I was going to finish up with my AFL career. Footy clubs are amazing places when they're filled with wonderful people, and Myrtleford really is a wonderful club. A lot of people in the town have a connection to the footy club, no matter what that is, whether they play or have been a club president or on the board or have been a trainer or whatever. So a lot of those people have been out the fire line. It's an interesting one. Everyone sort of would have a different take, I suppose, on when they were first confronted with a wildfire or a bushfire. And I wasn't unaware. I'd been to a couple of fires when I was younger with the CFA, but it's certainly been a long time. And when I got onto the fire line on New Year's Eve, it was really raging fire, and it was quite confronting. Even just driving towards the fire and seeing the enormity of the cloud and the ash, the darkness, the glow of the fire. It can be a very dangerous job, but the greatest thing about with our people who are above us in the command, they wouldn't put us in a position that we're not able to escape or to be in a situation that's too dangerous to fight a fire.
Hey Molly, how are you, mate? Nah, not much, mate. What are you up to?
I think it's just great to know that everyone's wanting to help in some way. Not everyone can be on the end of the hose. There's so many more roles that can be played, and we were never really left wanting for much. And that's comes back to the community. There's so many volunteers pulling together, and that's all part of that community feel that bonds people together because you've been through something that's quite tough.
All right, see you, Molly. See you, mate. It's funny, I grew up with him. He's a Barney boy, and we sort of met each other again out in the fire line. He was on a dozer actually. We were in the utes and the slip-ons, and we were in there following his trail, jumped in and we're pouring water on the fire. And then all of a sudden I didn't have enough hose, and then I turned around and the dozer driver jumped out and he's helping me out with the fire hose, and it was Mully. I hadn't seen him for years and years. It's a country town, everyone sort of pulls together, and I think that being a part of that is something it's like a family. It's like a country family, and we want this to be a place for young men and women to come in and feel like they can thrive. So if they're struggling at home, or if they're struggling at work, or struggling at footy, that we've got enough relationships and enough trust in our club and community that people can have these conversations that may well lead to someone getting better, or someone before they get too bad and are having real problems. So if we can create an environment where people feel safe to do that, then that's something special that we're looking to do. We can do something that's so much more important than being successful. And you talk to anyone around here, and myself included, we want to win a premiership this year and next year, and not every team can be successful every year. So how do you do something that's special without being successful necessarily? And whilst we strive for success, it's probably more important that we strive for significance.